Please rise. Pledge allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag
of the
United States, for which it stands, nation, God, indivisible.
Moment of silence. Need it? I'd like to call order the meeting. Nathan, go. 3.
At this time, we'll ask for citizens' input on agenda items only. Hearing and seeing none, do you want to recognize City Cog and Tanya?
Yeah, what is this?
The presentation.
This is what they're talking about. I'd like to recognize CEDACOG presentation. Tanya?
Good afternoon. I want to thank you all for inviting me here this afternoon to let everyone know who I am. For those of you who don't know, my name is Tanya Troop. I'm a project coordinator for CEDACOG, and we manage the Community Development Block Grant, or CDBG, funding for Northumberland County and the city of Shamokin. So today what we're going to talk about is the origins of CDBG, entitlement versus non-entitlement communities, typical projects that we see using CDBG funding, and CEDACOG's involvement in those. There's also pictures throughout the presentation. I want to make note that these are actual projects that were completed with CDBG funding over the past couple years. And during the presentation, there were things that I've asked Linda Sterling about, and also got some input from Justin Scavery about questions that you may have. So a lot of this is geared towards answering questions that the county may have been asked about CDBG funding. So the background of CDBG: in 1974, President Gerald Ford signed a law creating one of HUD's hallmark programs. The reason this was a hallmark program is because Congress and HUD decided to serve a broad mandate to give states and local government the discretion over how to use funding for housing, community, and economic development in their respective communities. So Northumberland County gets roughly $600,000 to $700,000 a year in CDBG funding, and that is allocated down into entitlement and non-entitlement communities. So if you look at the graphs, the Excel sheets on the next couple pages, I'm just going to explain that the light green areas are direct entitlement communities within Northumberland County. The dark green areas are OBO, or on behalf communities, that get allocations specifically from Northumberland County's allotment. And the areas in yellow are what we call low to moderate income areas. So communities with, we specifically target 51% or higher, low to moderate income individuals. And I'll elaborate on that as we go forward. So how did this funding come to be? Why are specific areas targeted? Why are some areas not targeted? So in the Act 179 used the 1988 Urban Development Action Grant, or UDAG, for distressed communities, and they had a list of those distressed communities. And this is where the funding was then separated. So communities like Ralpho Township, Delaware Township, in 1988, they were distressed. But if you look at the low to moderate income column now, Ralpho Township's at 10% overall. So we can see how this is really outdated information that we're still going by to serve these distressed communities. Another area that we get our information from is this sheet. It's the census tract information from 2020. So previously in 2023, we were using 2015 census data tract information. Now in 2024, we started using the 2020 information. So the areas in yellow are our low to moderate income communities, and it does align pretty well with areas that were distressed in 1988. Some changes that we have seen, though, over the past year, the West Chillisquaque has a block group, specifically Montandan, that is low to moderate income now, and areas such as Herndon and Marion Heights have fallen off the list. So as we're going on, you may wonder what projects can be funded with CDBG funding. What are eligible activities? So almost any project can be eligible. Couple of examples that I have there is infrastructure improvement, public services, housing development. But on the separate sheet that I provided to you, there's 70 different projects, 70 different activities that can actually be done with CDBG funding. This is not an all-inclusive list. It seems things are added more and more every year. Typical projects that we do see in Northumberland County, though, we see many road improvements, we see water and sewer projects, stormwater mitigation is another high one that we see quite often. The CDBG funding has 3 areas that we try to target. The first being targeting low to moderate income individuals and projects that would benefit them. The second is slum and blight areas, and then the third would be urgent need. So an urgent need we usually don't use too often. We did see it though, however, in 2020 for the COVID pandemic. An urgent need has to be declared, a declaration from government. And usually when you see that type of funding, there's additional funds to help with that declaration. So like I said, we usually don't use that funding too much. However, in Northumberland County, the second objective of eliminating slum and blight is something that we use quite often. Just to give you an idea, since 2010 in Northumberland County, we did 31 demolitions. In the city of Shamokin, we had 22. In the city of Sunbury, we had 14. In 2025, I'm happy to announce that we've got at least 11 more demolitions going in Shamokin. I have one that's going on right now as we speak. And also, we are going to be doing a demolition in McEwensville in the next couple months. And that is an area that we have never been able to help before. So we're happy to see that progress. I work hand in hand with Hank, the Housing Association of Northumberland County, and also the Blight Task Forces of Shamokin and Mount Carmel, and hopefully the RDA that's soon to come. When working with blight, there are quite a few compliance challenges. The regulatory issues, it's highly regulated by both federal and state funding. So not only do we have to, take into account local laws, but there's also that double level of federal and state funding too. So I like to say to people that CDBG funding is never quick. If you've got a quick project, usually I can't help you out. Also, we see time constraints with all types of projects, but particularly slum and blight. We have to make sure liens are in place, that right-of-ways are respected. any easements, or even permitting within the local towns. So how does CEDACOG fit into all of this? Because we're highly regulated, we have to keep paper and electronic records of every project we do, every intake we do, every survey. I'm not going to go over the list that's in front of us. You can see for yourselves, there's quite a bit of federal and state requirements, quite a bit of record keeping and monitoring. I just do want to let you know that we are required to keep our records for 5 years after our contract expires with DCED. Currently, the last closed contract was 2013, and that was done in 2021. So we won't be able to get rid of 2013's records until 2026. Currently, going on in Northumberland County, we have 24 projects in different phases. That is a total of $4.3 million in CDBG funding. And if you look at your Excel spreadsheet, I gave you an idea of what those projects are currently that we're working on. So some of those are having environmental reviews ran. They could be either out to engineering or construction bid. Also, they could be in substantial completion, but they are in different levels of completion at this point. And then the next couple pages are just projects before and after photos. The first one is Ely's stormwater mitigation that took place in 2 phases. We have a pavilion that was put up in Brown Avenue. Those were park improvements in Milton. We constructed the pavilion and put in the picnic tables. And then a more substantial project was Freedom and Diamond Courts in Mount Carmel, where CDBG funding was used for the demolitions of properties that may have been slum or blighted. We also provided the handicapped sidewalks and parking, and also the landscaping there. So at this time, I tried to make that short and brief. Do you have any questions or comments?
Tanya, first I'd like to thank you for giving the presentation, and I'd like the people to understand there are some municipalities, as you said, who handle their own CDBG money, but we hire out to CEDACOG for the ones that do not handle it, that go through you. And you always supply us every year with recommendations, and we sit down, and then the commissioners decide on which projects that we will go forward with each year. That's exactly how it works, so everybody understands that, because I don't think that was ever explained to the public before.
Yes, that is correct. And we will be meeting the month of July to go over 2025 projects.
Right. And we always go by recommendations, and also what area needs to be done the soonest. And that's how we decide ourselves, and that's how CEDACOG usually recommends to us also. So, anyone else?
No, thank you.
Thank you, Tanya. Very
you.
good. Thank you.
Looking real good toward.
We've been working with CEDACOG as long as I've been here, 10 years, and we've never had a problem. CEDACOG works very well with us. And they usually make sure we're informed of everything that's going on, and we appreciate that. And that's why you're still working for us, too, okay? I had to say that. But thank you for everything you do. Okay, Nathan.
Okay, a motion is needed to approve and dispense with the reading of the minutes of the Commissioners' public meeting held on Tuesday, May 6, 2025.
Moved.
Seconded.
On the question, All in favor, state aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Motion is needed to pay all county and liquid fuels bills submitted by the county controller in the amount of $5,154,986.62 from May 3rd, 2025 to May 30th, 2025.
So moved.
Seconded.
On the question, all in favor, state aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Motion is needed to pay all county and liquid fuels bills as submitted by the Human Resource Office for payroll number 10 in the amount of $745,577.51. Payroll number 11 in the amount of $767,019.
So moved.
Seconded.
On the question, all in favor, state aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Under announcements, a work session will be held on Tuesday, June 17th, 2025, beginning at 10 a.m. in the Commissioners' Conference Room. The next regular public meeting will be held on Tuesday, July 1st, 2025 at 1 p.m. in the public meeting room at the Administration Center located at 399 Stadium Drive in Sunbury. Northumberland County Courthouse, Administration Center, and related county facilities will be closed on Friday, June 13th, 2025 in observance of the Flag Day holiday, and Friday, July 4th, 2025 in observance of the Independence Day holiday. Prison Board meeting will be held on Wednesday, June 4th, 2025 at 11 a.m. at the Administration Center, 399 Stadium Drive in Sunbury. Motion is needed to approve the employee status sheet list of new hires, individuals no longer employed, promotions, demotions, and transfers as item number 1 through 21.
So moved.
Seconded.
On the question, all in favor, state aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Motion is needed to approve the following reports. These include the coal royalty report as submitted by the county engineer, the Tax Claims Bureau reported total income, and the monthly fiscal status sheets on behalf of the Weatherization Department.
So moved.
Seconded.
On the question, all in favor, state aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
A motion is needed to grant permission to advertise the following request for proposals, also an RFP, Bridge Structure Rehabilitation, County Bridge Number 70 on T-308 East Chillisquawkee on behalf of the county engineer. This is a ratification.
So moved.
On the question, all in favor, state aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Motion is needed to authorize the Commissioners of Northumberland County to execute the inmate housing agreement between Northumberland County and Schuylkill County for the housing of Schuylkill County prison inmates at the Northumberland County Jail at a daily rate of $72 per day per inmate, and this is a ratification.
So moved.
Seconded.
On the question, all in favor, state aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Motion is needed to authorize the chairperson to execute the quote between the Northumberland County Prison and Torpak, Inc., doing business as Phaser Corporation, Plains, for UPS preventative maintenance agreement at a cost of $2,650.
So moved.
Seconded.
On the question, all in favor, state aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Motion is needed to authorize the chairperson to execute the sales order and/or lease agreement with Top Business Solutions for copier maintenance and U.S. Bank Equipment Finance for Kyocera Color MFP 50 ppm copy, scan, print at a lease cost of $163.46 monthly for 60 months plus maintenance fees on behalf of the IT department. This is a ratification.
So moved.
Seconded.
On the question, all in favor, state aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Motion is needed to authorize Northumberland County Solicitor Frank Garrigan to execute the following proposals for appraisals with Real Estate Appraisal and Marketing Associates in Sunbury for the following properties: Milton Village Apartments, tax parcel ID 034-00-019-147, tax appeal case number CV-20-1759, and Cole Township Elderly Housing, tax parcel ID 001-03-001-230, tax appeal number CV-20-1796. This is a ratification.
So moved.
Seconded.
On the question, all in favor, state aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Motion is needed to authorize the chairperson to execute the planned service agreement with Johnson Controls for the fire alarm enhanced test and inspect plus system labor and panel parts from June 1st, 2025 to May 31st, 2026 on behalf of the Northumberland County Courthouse at a cost of $3,751.05.
So moved.
Seconded.
On the question, all in favor, state aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Motion is needed to authorize the Commissioners to execute the contract with Moore Renovations LLC of Shamokin as general contractor on behalf of the Weatherization Department for the funding period to 2025-2026 or until funding runs out.
So moved.
Seconded.
On the question? Yes.
The county used to run their own.
We still run our own weatherization project.
So where do they fit in?
Hire contract.
We outsource to contractors to do the work. So we run our own weatherization on Treverton Road, but the people we have can't do all the work, so there are times that we outsource to contractors to do the window replacement or whatever the issue was.
I had a relative that, but there's good things to have
That's why yeah, they can't, right. Our people, we don't have enough people to do all the jobs, so we outsource some of the jobs to contractors. Oh. What does it cost? It all depends on what they bid on the project, right? Okay? Nice question, thank you. Did we vote on that yet? Do we have motions? We did?
We do.
And on the question, that was on the question, all in favor, state aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Motion is needed to authorize the Commissioners to execute the contract with More Renovations LLC Schmoken as Energy Auditor and Quality Control Inspector QCI upon completion of QCI certifications on behalf of the Weatherization Department for the funding period 2025-2026 or until funding runs out.
So moved.
On the question, all in favor, state aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
A motion is needed to authorize the Commissioners of Northumberland County to execute the contract renewal with Vincent V. Revito Jr. Esquire on behalf of the Tax Claims and Assessment Departments. This is a ratification.
So moved.
On the question, all in favor, state aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Motion is needed to authorize the distribution in the amount of $73,644 to the Housing Authority of Northumberland County according to the ordinance number O-04-17, Northumberland County Demolition Fund Act, under Act 152 of 2016.
So moved.
On the question, was this supposed to be scheduled for next month? That's a different one.
The presentation.
There will be a presentation next month, okay. All in favor, state aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Motion is needed to authorize the Commissioners to execute the amendment to the lease agreement between Northumberland County and Central Susquehanna Opportunities, Inc., Cole Township for the period 4/1/2025 to March 31st, 2030.
So moved.
On the question, all in favor, state aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Motion is needed authorizing travel requests and attendance at the following workshop seminars in accordance with the County Personnel Manual, travel reimbursement policy as listed in the public meeting agenda.
So moved.
On the question, all in favor, state aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
A motion is needed to approve the following proclamation, and it's a certificate of recognition for Shannon Miller, Mother of the Year 2025, Mount Carmel Fraternal Order Eagles, Aerie 464, and that's a ratification.
So moved.
On the question, all in favor, state aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Motion is needed to authorize the chairperson to execute the JCJC Juvenile Probation Services Grant Award Notification for the period July 1st, 2024 to June 30th, 2025 for $151,537 on behalf of Juvenile Probation Department.
So moved.
On the question, all in favor, state aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Solicitor report, Mr. Garrigan.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Motion to adopt Resolution R-10-25. The Northumberland County Board of Commissioners resolves and certifies that it will provide Mount Carmel Borough LATS local funds in the amount of $9,667 to match state funds provided pursuant to 74 PA Consolidated Statute, Section 1513, in fiscal year 2025-2026.
Moved.
On the question, all in favor, state aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Motion to adopt Resolution R-11-25, resolution of the Northumberland County Board of Commissioners to support legislation to assist disabled minors, including legislation to increase black lung benefit rates.
So moved.
On the question, all in favor, state aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Motion to adopt Resolution R-12-25 of agreements, amendments, revisions, grants, leases, and reports between the Northumberland County Commissioners on behalf of the Human, Senior, and Social Services and the named service providers as listed, numbers 1 through 24. The above agreements, amendments, revisions, grants, leases, and reports are not with county employees, nor does their organizational contract list county employees as principals in their corporation or on their board of directors, with the exception of contracts with CSO and BHIDS. Contract number 9 is a BHIDS contract with myself, Frank Garrigan, and Controller Grayson is a member of the CSO board.
So moved.
On the question, all in favor, state aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
At this time, is there any old business? Hearing and seeing none, any new business? And a final opportunity for public input.
Good afternoon, and again, thank you for the opportunity to be heard today. My name is Doug Funk, and as you may recall, I'm the chief of the Warren Area Fire Department. At your April Commissioners' meeting, a group of Northumberland County fire chiefs raised concerns regarding a proposed merger of Northumberland County's 911 center with Schuylkill County Center. At that time, the chiefs were informed that our information was incorrect and that no plans had been discussed other than conducting a study. Yesterday, I was given a report of the minutes from the recent Schuylkill County Commissioners' meeting. Those minutes noted that the Schuylkill County Commissioners approved an agreement to renew temporary housing in Northumberland County. Commissioner Hetherington said this, and I quote, was part of a proposed deal where the two counties will share 911 operations in the future. I thought there was no plan, just a study. The Schuylkill County minutes suggest the proposed deal is already being implemented as we speak. At the April meeting, you commissioners assured the fire chiefs that discussions would take place between this board and the chiefs before implementing any deal. When did those discussions occur and which fire chiefs were invited to participate? As I stated in April, this is the fourth time since 1992 that Northumberland County has considered modifying our vital public safety communications system. As in the past, emergency service providers learned about this matter through informal channels and from reliable state and local sources, but not from our commissioners. Some of the specifics discussed during those previous four discussions may well have had a significant negative impact on our operations, including impaired interoperability, reduced efficiencies, and ultimately reduced safety for both our citizens and our fire department volunteers. After the comments made at the Schuylkill County meeting, it appears that this board is following in the same footsteps as the previous commissioners. Our reliable sources at both the state and local levels have informed us that our county commissioners have already decided to merge with Schuylkill County, and Northumberland County is merely going through the motions of conducting a study. You have already been told that there is very little support from the field users for a merger with Schuylkill County, yet you have not openly and frankly discussed the issues with this county's emergency services. Our request, please, explain the report from Schuylkill County, introduce us to the consultants reportedly undertaking your feasibility study, and work diligently to initiate frank discussions with Northumberland County public safety agencies before making any decisions about our 911 systems for our communities. Thank you.
Let me address some of those. Number one, I cannot control what anyone says from Schuylkill County. This board has not lied to anybody, any worker, any firefighter from Northumberland County. We have agreed to a study. That's all, okay? I can give you an update. So far, since we did the study, we have put in for grants. Number one, the grant was to modify our building up at the prison to turn that into a 911 center. We have told everybody that we were going to do that. The other grant is for Boyer's Knob Tower, which we've been trying to replace for years. Nobody has agreed to anything with Schuylkill County. I haven't even, or I don't think any of us have met with Schuylkill County since the last time yous were here. We're doing the study now. I will say publicly now, our plan is to move up to the prison into a building that we can modify if we get this grant to be a 911 center. I don't know if that will be by ourselves. I don't know if that's going to be with Montour County in Columbia, or I don't know if it's going to be with Schuylkill County. I don't know that because I haven't heard any of those reports. But Northumberland County is moving nowhere. The only thing that I can say we have stopped is the regionalization that is going on, in where 5 counties have told us, we would like you to join with us as long as you give us your $12.5 million taxpayer Northumberland County funded 911 licenses and radio system, we will let you be regionalization with us. Where we have $5 million still we owe on that 911 system that we haven't paid. I have told those 5 regional counties we would be interested in doing that if each one of them gave us $1 million to pay off our 911 because our citizens paid $12.5 million for our licenses, which was what they want, and our radio system. I said, if you don't want to do that, we'll be willing to talk to you about joining without giving our radio systems to you. And you know what they said? We're not interested. So all they basically want, and I'm saying this publicly because I want to be transparent, they want our radio system as a backup. $12.5 million that Northumberland County taxpayers paid. It wasn't grants like Clinton County got. It's taxpayers' money. They want it for free. And I will not do that. They want to pay our bill off? I'll think about it. If they want to let us in without giving us our radio system and our licenses, I'll think about it. But why would I do that? And what's your opinion on that? Because maybe you don't know all these things.
My opinion is you are not giving it up for nothing. Very valuable.
What is that?
That is redundancy in your system so that all the counties around right now.
What are the other 5 counties giving up?
Union County or CSR would be the CAD system in.
We're already part of the CAD system
Clinton County is bringing the main primary core.
that they're getting for free.
Lycoming County is bringing to you free use of their backup dispatch. Dispatch, you move out of Greenville.
Then we're willing to give them our backup 911 system. Okay, if we control it, we're not going to give all our licenses and everything away to them. So we're going to, so you know where we are, we're going to stay right the way we are, which we have been for as many years. We're going to stay where we are. We're going to continue as we are. And if we can move up to the other building, that's our goal. We will do that. If anybody wants to join, fine. If we need to find backup systems, I'm sure I have talked to other counties that have backup systems where they don't have to give up their whole $12 million network.
But you're not giving up the network. It's still going to be here. You're still going to be using it.
And if we ever would want it back and say things aren't working out, can we get it back? Because they told me we can. Once it's all changed, it's gone. Correct?
I do not know that.
Well, I'm just telling you what I know and what I've talked to, and I've went to the meetings. I cannot turn a $12.5 million, and it's the licenses that are the most important, system over to 5 counties for nothing when we still owe $5 million and paying that off. We'll stay the way we are, and we're doing fine the way we are.
Again, in return for that system, there would be multiple tower sites.
Well, there's 3 that we couldn't shut down that we could share. Okay, but it doesn't make up 12.5. So if you want to go and talk to those counties and ask them if they want the system, talk to us and work it out. I want to do that. I want to find a solution, but if we don't, we're basically, our goal now is to get 911 out of the building because it's going to get sold, and we don't want to purchase it. It's too big for us. And to move up to the prison. We have told you that. All the other stuff that you brought up, I have no idea what Schuylkill County's doing. We haven't met with them in months.
Do you see where we're concerned?
Yeah, I know, but I can't control what other people say.
Publicly put out there that their commissioner is saying this is part of the Schuylkill County merger with 911.
Well, I don't know why he said it. If you want, we can go back and call him. I don't know why he said it. I mean, I have no idea because we never said that. All we said is we're doing a study, exactly what we said to you. So I don't know where or why anybody said, I can't control what they say. Did we just get prisoners from them? Yes, we did. We just got 9 inmates in our jail. Our jail has 195 inmates. It holds 286. The other 5 counties don't send us inmates usually. Sometimes they do sparingly. Schuylkill County offered to send us. It has nothing to do with any deal. It's because they need to get these inmates somewhere, and they figure we're close because we're close to this Schuylkill County line where our prison is. But I'm telling you, there's no deals. There's nothing. Why this guy said that, I have no idea. I have no idea. If you want, I'll go back and call one of their commissioners, or we'll schedule tomorrow. You want to come in, I'll schedule a conference call with one of their commissioners, and you can ask them, because I can't speak for them. Okay? I have no idea what they say and why they say it. But I want to let you know where we're coming from, too. I can't, well, we're paying $5 million off on a system that we have, and I can't give it to 4 of their 5 other counties. And I've offered it to them. Help us pay it off. Not interested. Well, let us join without giving you our system. Nobody else has to do, but we'll keep our system, and you just, we'll work with. They're not. If we don't give them our system, they're not interested.
Have you seen the paperwork that they were?
No, I've.
County Com Center study they were doing.
Who was?
Schuylkill
Okay.
Com Center was everything that was in that report. Everything.
I don't know if that's true or not. I haven't seen it, but I know I met with them in our building up at the prison to move 911 in there. I met with the people doing the study because I said our goal is to move our 911 in that building. So I was at that. The other stuff, I haven't seen any of that other stuff.
And that has been said and brought back about moving on to
Yeah,
which makes sense.
yeah.
But from their, honestly, I guess the biggest thing is
Listen,
you guys need to talk to them and find ways. They're thinking something that you guys aren't. And that's where everybody is. You have, I mean, the Fire Chiefs Association, every time we turn around, everything is directed with Schuylkill, and it just looks like.
we're doing the same study with Columbia Montour. And I've been at those meetings. Nobody brings them up. Nobody comes to a meeting and says anything about that. They want us to move into Danville.
We did, they can put out for the tower thing. As soon as people seen Schuylkill in there for it, everything just lines up. And
Well, everything I'm telling you is what's happening. You can believe, listen, I've been here 10 years. I don't think I've ever lied or told a fib or anything when it dealt with county business. I'm telling you where it is. We are doing 2 studies. Our goal is we got to get out of a building that's going to get sold, and we might get thrown out of that building. And we're going to move to a building that we have people looked at that think it's a great place. I'm welcome to take you guys up to see it. It's empty now. We have the money to renovate it. We put in for a grant to help move the systems because I know it's expensive to do that. And we have talked to our people about moving, the cost of it moving up there. So we've been talking about that for 2 years at this point. And the Schuylkill is a study. The Columbia thing in Montour is a study. Our plan is to move up to the prison because we have to get out of the building or buy the building, which we don't want to do. Okay? Everything else I'm telling you, and what we'll do is you want to come in tomorrow? Can you come in tomorrow morning? I'll schedule a call with Schuylkill because I don't know if I can get them now. And ask them why they said it. I have no idea why they said it. Well, if you can wait, I'll try and see if I can gather them. I don't know where they are now, but I'll try to get at least one of them on, and we'll make a conference call from my office when we're done. Oh.
I think that's fair, but you can see where our concern
Yeah, I don't.
keeps coming out, and everything is directed like there's something already.
And it keeps coming out from people who have, I don't know where they're getting the information. I mean, they read an article.
From the scoop, that's where it looks.
Where what?
These minutes.
I don't know. They must be in the newspaper from.
These minutes from this meeting. Where are the minutes from the Schuylkill County meeting?
I have not seen the minutes.
Where did you hear about these?
This was a report.
Where did you hear it?
Okay, this was a report from
Okay, it's garbage.
and that's.
Okay, it's garbage.
Let me first, Frank, let me just interrupt. The last time they said something was brought out from a Schuylkill County meeting, if you remember, something about the same situation, the newspaper interpreted it that way. And if you remember, I called about it, and that newspaper from Pottsville at the end put down that was their interpretation. It was not what the Schuylkill County Commissioner said. Do you remember that situation in the last one? Well, it was one that was posted up 911 that they said this, and when I called about it, it was the paper's interpretation, and they put a redaction in that was not the true thing that happened. Maybe it's the same situation. But listen, we're here to clear it up.
I am available any morning next week. Or this Friday.
Well, you want to come in Tuesday next week? And I'll call and we'll have a conference call with them.
Yes, next Tuesday.
Okay, we can schedule it with our secretary when you're done, and we'll schedule it, and I'll have at least one of them get on the phone call, and you can ask them all the questions you want. Okay? Then that will clear it up, and then you can go back and let them know the truth, because we're telling you the truth. I'm telling you that. I mean, I can't speak for other people. I can't speak when we leave here. I can't, if Ron goes out and says something up in Shamokin about security, I can't control what Ron says, right, Ron? but I know what the truth is, okay? Let's clear it up. We'll schedule something next week, and you can ask them the questions. Okay? Thank you. You guys, anybody have anything that I say?
I think you covered it pretty good, Sam. Mr. Funk, I believe a month or two ago, we spent an hour before our one meeting. We had 20 firefighters here that meeting, the public meeting. And I think we had a meeting from 12 to 1 with you and a few other fire chiefs at that meeting. I think we clarified everything, and I appreciate your concern. But what I don't appreciate is you guys coming in here, and mainly you, and basically calling us a bunch of liars. Okay? You said there was some kind of cover-up or something, we're covering stuff up. We are not doing that. That is an insult to this Board of Commissioners' integrity. We have been up front with everything we've ever done here, and we're very transparent. And whatever you're reading from whatever they did over in Schuylkill County, I have no idea. Like Commissioner Chickatano mentioned, we have no control over what anybody says in any county or government, at the state, at the federal level. Okay, when we tell you something, we're gonna tell you the truth. All right, and if we tell you we're gonna get back to you, we will do that. But I don't appreciate it myself, being signaled as covering something up and being a liar. Okay, thank you. Well, I'm sorry, but that's the way it came across that way. Okay.
Two signs this way coming at us.
Across that way. Let's all, you know. And when you get up here, basically, and for a lack of better terms, after we get done telling you something, you read a prepared statement at that public meeting, which is on record, and basically, for a lack of better words, got up there and grandstanded with everything we told you and clarified everything at that meeting we had before our public meeting. You got up there and mentioned everything that we clarified with you and made it public, and you know the answers to everything, and got up and still read that prepared statement. So, all right, that's it for me.
Let's clear it up next week, okay? We'll call and we'll, but what we're telling you about, and we've told you this from the beginning, the building is for sale. We don't want to buy the building where 911 is. We think it's too big, and if the IU moves out, it's a disaster to have. We have a building. We've been trying to do something with that building with 911 for a couple years. We put in for a grant. We also, so you know, so you hear it for the truth, we have talked to Fetterman's office, we have talked to McCormick's office, we have talked to Dan Muser's office, and they're all backing us for this grant to hopefully get the money to do that. And then we'll have a 911 center up where we have our prison. It's a great building, and whether it's going to be by ourselves, I don't know that. I don't know what the studies are going to bring back, but right now, we're by ourselves with our own system, with all our licenses and everything else. And what you're saying about backups and this and that, we have been told that you can get that without joining into a regional thing. You can get backup systems and all, and those are things we'll look into once we get all the studies back, and we told you they'd be back in the fall. But as of now, we're by ourselves, and unless we find something better, we will never put any firefighters or police in jeopardy. That's one thing we will never do. And why, and again, I've heard rumors that, Joe's talking not from you guys, but other people, firefighters saying this, saying that, saying about the person that we're looking to hire for emergency management. I mean, we're trying to do the best we can, but with the between us and this isn't for the paper, but with the firefighters and police out there, you know how many different opinions there are? Think of the north, the south, the middle. Everybody has a different idea. We are all on the same page, us three, and we're all trying to do what is best for everybody, including our taxpayers. And not that we're going to shortfall, but we owe $5 million on a system that is one of the best systems. I give the former commissioners credit. They bought one of the best systems, even though they had to spend all taxpayers' money. But it was one of the best systems with the licenses and everything that is in the state. I'm not about to give it away for free. And I'm not about to be paying a $5 million mortgage on something while everybody else is getting it. But we'll figure this out for next week. I'll schedule it. You let them know the time, and I'll hopefully get one of them that can call on a conference call. You can ask all your questions. But I don't want 50 people in there. If you two want to come, fine. I don't want a whole, you come whatever questions you want to ask. Okay? All right, thank you. Anybody else? Is that it?
I want to make a footnote on that 911 building.
$100,000 a year. Okay, thank you. Okay, meeting adjourned. Thank you.